We're all familiar with The Simpsons, aren't we? It's been running for ages, one of the longest series in the United States. But beyond the humor, the craziness, and the dysfunctional family with their wild escapades, there's a hidden side. For a long time, The Simpsons appeared to make predictions that surprisingly turned out to be spot on. What predictions have been made for 2024, and more importantly, will they come true? I've picked out the 7 scariest and most disturbing predictions for you. Have fun. Number 1. AI Robots Takeover. So, besides all the crazy stuff the characters do in The Simpsons, the show's really good depending on what you like. One big reason people love it is because it predicts things, and this one prediction is even weirder than the ones before. The show's known for guessing the future of cool gadgets, but this time it's so on point that it's hard to believe it's just luck. Let's go back to season 23, episode 17. There's this scene where Homer gets the boot because his boss swaps out all the human workers for robots.
Ladies and gentlemen, meet the future masters of the human race.
Wow, sounds familiar. Do you think it is possible, considering all the great advances in robotics and artificial intelligence, that humans will soon, by 2024 perhaps, lose their jobs to intelligent robots?
You will train them, and they will replace you.
Right now, you've likely heard about robots working as waiters in Japan and all around the world. So, is this like the end of regular jobs for humans? Or are we all just freaking out too much about robots taking over? Fingers crossed it never comes to that. But if it does, The Simpsons can say, "We told you so." Number 2. Blackhole. All right, brace yourself for something that'll seriously give you the creeps. We're taking it back to the 24th season of this show. Now let's dive into the second episode that aired on March 24th, 2013, called Treehouse of Horror 23. In this wild episode, the dysfunctional family tries to dodge a mysterious black hole hell-bent on swallowing the whole of Springfield into darkness and nothingness. Lisa accidentally brings this cosmic demon home, thinking it's a good idea to keep everyone safe from it. But as you'd expect with The Simpsons, chaos follows. Long story short, the black hole ends up sucking the entire town of Springfield, leaving Maggie all alone in the wrecked place. Now, while this is pure fiction, some folks are genuinely worried that we might be teetering on the brink of a catastrophic natural event like never before. Even though scientists say the closest black hole to us is a whopping 1560 light-years away, so there's practically zero chance of this happening. But you know, it's The Simpsons, and they've nailed some crazy predictions before. So, should we be freaking out? Is 2024 the year the world goes haywire? Number 3. AI goes rogue. With all the crazy advancements in artificial intelligence lately, are we sure we're not giving tech too much power? Could we end up at the mercy of our own creations soon? The Simpsons actually gave us a heads up back in 1994, in an episode called Itchy and Scratchy Land. The family visits a creepy version of Disneyland run entirely by robots, and surprise, the robots go berserk and start offing everyone. Now I get it, we're not saying this will happen by 2024, but it does make you think, right? Like, how far are we willing to push this whole AI thing? If our own creation gets to a point where it sees us humans as a hassle, where do we go? Number 4. Music-induced mind control. The government is trying to control you through a series of subconscious processes. The government supposedly wants to manipulate us through sneaky methods. This idea popped up after watching the 14th episode of The Simpsons Season 12. It's about forming a boy band called Party Posse, and their hit song Dropped a Bomb seems innocent, but there's a hidden agenda. In the music video, they use weird words like Yvonne, 8, and Neoje, which, when reversed, spell out join the Navy. Sneaky, right? As the song spreads, it influences the minds of Springfield's residents. Lisa figures out that the music director is a Navy lieutenant, claiming that music has historically been used to recruit young people into the military, especially during World War II. The US aimed to turn entertainment, including cinema, into a powerful propaganda tool during that time. Nowadays, some folks wonder if today's music, with its catchy but repetitive lyrics and hypnotic tunes, has been subtly controlling us for years. Could the government be behind it all, and will this trend continue in 2024? Conspiracy theorists love this topic, using it to spin their theories about the government's influence on entertainment. Number 5. World War III. On November 22, 1987, a special episode of The Simpsons aired on The Tracy Ullman Show. Despite its humor, some suspect there might be a hidden message. Before you dismiss this as a stretch, consider that many accurate predictions in the show were seemingly minor details at first. The episode revolves around Homer Simpson repeatedly pranking his family with false alarms about World War III. He wakes them up, urging them to rush into a makeshift fallout shelter as if the world is ending.
Wake up, everybody! It's World War III!
The question arises, would a basic shelter in an ordinary American's home protect them in a nuclear fallout? That's a job for the Mythbusters. The episode satirizes the idea of a serious conflict between global powers unfolding. It humorously suggests that regular American households might find themselves reenacting these scenes. Considering the current state of affairs, we're arguably closer to a potential Third World War now than when the episode aired. In 2020, we had a scare before the pandemic. Examining global politics and numerous conflicts worldwide reveals a lack of global peace, even if we're not in a full-scale war. Number 6. Economic collapse. Back to the talk of gloom and doom. Is the United States on the brink of a serious economic downturn that could throw us into a situation reminiscent of the Great Depression? Well, economic analysts are painting a pretty grim picture. They've been examining the country's economic nosedive, and according to these experts, we might be in for a rough ride in the coming year. But let's be real, it's not like the US is the only one facing tough times. Pretty much every country out there is grappling with some serious challenges right now. Between the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, conflicts like the one between Ukraine and Russia, and various other global issues, it's kind of a miracle that our society hasn't crumbled entirely. Now, why are we bringing up The Simpsons in all this? Well, turns out they gave us a heads up about it back in the year 2000. Remember that Bart to the Future episode? It's one of the most famous ones in the series, and a go-to for folks like us who love finding predictions in the show. In that episode, they talked about an economic collapse happening during Donald Trump's presidency. Now, before you say, hey, Trump isn't the current president, here's the twist. This former president was running for the presidency again in 2020. So you can start connecting the dots from there. Pretty intriguing, right? If you're reading this, chances are you're a curious cat too, aren't you? Number 7. Zombie apocalypse. This one might sound like a bit of a stretch, but it's another prediction from The Simpsons that hasn't happened yet. So, we can't completely rule anything out. In this eerie episode, a zombie apocalypse takes over Springfield, the fictional city where The Simpsons live. While the idea of a real zombie apocalypse is highly unlikely, we can't dismiss it as pure fiction. Given that around 30 seemingly ordinary scenes from this series have actually come true in real life, it wouldn't be wise to brush off these scenarios as just imaginative storytelling. At the end of the day, The Simpsons isn't just a comic series. It's a cartoon that delves into the secretive world of the elite, often seen as the puppets of secret societies like the Masons. The real test will be waiting to see how things unfold in the year 2024. But in the end, The Simpsons is just a fictional series, and all the predictions that came true were just coincidences, right? We'll soon find out, and we will see us in the next video. Bye.